Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. We are still tracking some rain and thunderstorms that are set to move across eastern Iowa here for today. Some of these will be carrying a severe weather risk. We want you to be aware that some gusty winds, some large hail, it's all on the table here during the morning hours, even through the early afternoon, based on the way things are timing right now. And of course, the winds are going to be rather chaotic today, too, depending on the timing of the storms. And even when it's not storming, it could be rather breezy. Temperatures are back into the 60s to low 70s for today. That's happening around lunchtime. Then we'll actually see temperatures drop towards the after school hours and especially into the early evening hours. In terms of the rainfall, we're watching some scattered storms in northeast Kansas currently. Those are working their way up towards the north and east very quickly. They're expanding in coverage. They've got a fair amount of moisture to them, and any one of those this morning could come across with a severe weather risk. Again, be aware of that going forward. Then by the time we get to the midday hours, there's probably not a whole lot happening right now, but there may be more than meets the eye on this because I want to show you something here going towards, let's say, late this morning into the early afternoon. Depending on what the humidity does, depending on what the winds do, depending on what the temperatures do, there is a narrow second window of time here to watch because if anything does develop along this surface front, which is a possibility, there are some severe weather ingredients here that we need to keep our eyes on. If they all come together, there could be a brief window of time, a narrow window of time, where a tornado could be possible. That is something, again, worth monitoring this afternoon. It's not a guarantee, but I at least want to pass along that it is a possibility. Here's the visual on Pinpoint Futurecast. You see, again, whatever forms races off to the north and east very quickly. You can see it moving outside the TV9 viewing area by the time we get to 3 o'clock. So that noon to 3 window could be a little interesting for folks, especially farther off to the east, and then after that, everything is just well to the east and moving away from us. In terms of rainfall through early afternoon, we're still expecting moderate amounts here, even locally heavy rainfall totals with over an inch, a possibility with some storms. And because of the excessive snowmelt going to the north and some additional rainfall coming here for today, the Mississippi River continues to look like it'll be cresting towards the middle to end of next week, and it could be at major flood status for several of our cities. McGregor, Dubuque, and Bellevue all into moderate flood category right now, and then eventually going into major flood categories to work our way into next week. Here comes the next 9 days. Temperatures back into the 50s then for your Friday. Windy and chilly for tomorrow, even cold again on Saturday. Could feasibly get a sprinkle or a flurry out of that second cold front that drops in Friday night into Saturday morning. It does appear like it's going to be a pretty chilly weekend, though. Look for freeze warnings to come out once again, especially Saturday night and Sunday night. Next week, temperatures are trending cool. Looks like actually a fairly chilly finish to the month of April here as we work our way towards the full final week next week. Highs are mainly into the 50s, and lows are mainly in the upper 30s to low 40s.